your move, your move.
Did you know the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga started out not being about card games at all? Instead, it focused more on series protagonist Yugi Muto using the spirit of the puzzle to right wrongs and deliver justice against bullies and criminals. Card games don't appear at all until chapter 9, and in the original printings it wasn't even called Duel Monsters, it was called Magic and Wizards, as a nod to Magic the Gathering, another popular trading card game. You see, the Yu-Gi-Oh manga was originally going to be episodic chapters with a different game each chapter. Magic and Wizards was only going to appear in a 2-chapter story arc, but Shonen Jump magazine received so much fan mail asking about Magic and Wizards that Yu-Gi-Oh creator Kazuki Takahashi decided to run with it. The name of the game was later changed to Duel Monsters in reprinted early issues of the manga.
It was also stated that whoever solves the Millennium Puzzle would be granted one wish. This was inspired by the wish-granting powers of the Dragon Balls from another Shonen Jump manga. It's also interesting to note that whenever Yugi changed places with the spirit of the Pharaoh, he would grow taller and his clothes would change slightly, which is strange as swapping spirits wouldn't explain this. But this is probably due to the fact that Kazuki Takahashi is a fan of Super Sentai shows, and initially likened Yugi's transformation to that of the Super Sentai character.
Due to Konami owning development and publishing rights for the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, several of their video game characters appear as cards, such as Solid Snake, Gomon and Getsufumi. Another Konami franchise featured prominently in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game is the Gradius series of games, including many of the game's bosses in the form of the BES archetype, and many of the game's playable ships in the form of the Gradius archetype. It's also interesting to note the frequency of cards released that bear a striking resemblance to characters from the Studio Gainax series Gurren Lagann. This is likely due to the fact that Konami was one of the producers of the Gurren Lagann anime and would later go on to develop and produce their DS title.
Gate Guardian requires sacrificing 3 specific monsters so that you can summon him. Those monsters are Suijin, Kazajin, and Sanga of the Thunder. What's interesting is that for a short time in Japan this wouldn't have been possible. Gate Guardian was first released in Tokyo as a participation prize for the first national conference tournament, which ran from the 1st to the 26th of August 1999. It wasn't until later that year, on September 23rd, when Booster Pack 5 was released, that players would be able to obtain Suijin, Kazajin, and Sanga of the Thunder. Something similar also happened with the TCG release of Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, which requires tributing Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to summon it. Blue Eyes Shining Dragon was released on August 13th, 2004 as part of the promotion for Yu-Gi-Oh! The Movie, Pyramid of Light. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon wouldn't see a TCG release until the January 2006 issue of Shonen Jump Volume 4. This means that for nearly 2 years, Blue Eyes Shining Dragon would be impossible to summon legally outside of Japan and other parts of Asia.
Ritual monsters generally can't be summoned without their corresponding ritual spell card, but for a while the monster Relinquished didn't mention this in its card effect. This card went through 3 different erratas before they finally mentioned that it could only be specially summoned with Black Illusion Ritual. This is likely due to the insufficient space left to introduce the basic mechanics of ritual summoning.
That's all for this fan-made Did You Know Gaming, but make sure to subscribe to The Real Guys, like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, and check out video game trivia at didyouknowgaming.com.
Also, make sure to check out some of the official Did You Know Gaming episodes, and if you like the deep, sultry tones of my voice, then why not check out an episode of Those Backseat Gamers? Plus, how can you be a Yu-Gi-Oh fan and not watch Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series? Answer, you can't. So check out that channel as well before it gets banned for the umpteenth time.